Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It is one of the biggest and most beautiful designs I think I have ever made, and it's the Demons Run When a Good Man Goes to War poem in its entirety. So, in this video I'm going to explain how it says the same thing as this poem here. It's just formatted a little bit differently. Obviously, this one's in circles and this one's in English, but I also broke up the sentences quite a bit differently. So each of these gold rings is a sentence circle, and they're where you put the words in your sentence. And the script is read bottom counterclockwise in the sentences and loosely left to right for the sentence circles themselves. So this is our first one, and it says Demons Run. So just like this poem here, it starts with Demons Run. And then the When a Good Man Goes to War circle is here. So when a good man goes to war is written there. So when a good man goes to war. Night will fall and drown the sun. So night will fall and drown the sun. And another when a good man goes to war. And this is actually exactly the same. I just scaled it up a little bit and rotated it. And I scooted this in a tiny bit more. But yeah, so if you look closely, you can tell that these are the same thing. I just rotated it. Yay, saved myself some work there. And then here's our next sentence. It is friendship dies and. So friendship dies and true love lies. True love lies. Night will fall and the dark will rise. So night will fall and the dark will rise. When a good man goes to war, and again, very similar with that same line kind of going through them, except I changed the to war. I made the two small right there, and the war I made a little bit lower. But anyway, when a good man goes to war, so when a good man goes to war. Then this one, demons run, but count the cost. So demons run, but count the cost. The battle's won, but the child is lost. The battle's won, but the child is lost. So now I'm going to zoom in and go through letter by letter on each word. Yay! So I'm going to actually start using this key. So this is the key to read the words and the letters of this script. So consonants are made by combining dots and lines on these 4 different shaped stems. So if we zoom this in here, make it quite a bit bigger, and scooch it over. Move this up here. We can see our first word circle is here, and we have a deep divot. So this first stem here is our very first letter of our very first word. So here's the bottom of the word circle. If we continue around, this deep divot, this shape here, has 1, 2, 3 dots by it. So that's D. So D is our very first letter. Yay! And we continue around, we see these little circles with the open holes in them. These are vowels, so like this. So here's a vowel, 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 lots of vowels in this. They're all little circles. So this is our first vowel, and it's on the line of the word circle, and E's are on the line of the word circle. In fact, E's, I's, and U's are all in the same position, except I's have a line going towards the middle, and U's have a line going outwards. So E's, I's, and U's are all in the same position, which is on that word circle line, and if they're enclosed in one of these vowel stems, or these consonant stems, they look different too. So this is what an E looks like inside a deep divot in this first stem, and then a J-E, T-E, T-H-E, because this is a J-T-T-H. Sorry if I'm going a little fast here. It'll make more sense when I start reading it in context. But anyway, this is an E, because it's on the line. Yay. And then we continue around this circle, and we have our next letter, and it is hanging out inside the word circle. So this word circle is the thin line. Ignore the screaming toddler in the background. But there is a circle inside the word circle. So we're in this row, and we have these curvy lines coming around from it. So if we look at this thick circle by itself, there's this one thick line that starts on it, this thick line that starts on it, thin line that starts on it, and this thick line that starts on it. It doesn't matter that these guys kind of line up and make like a circle shape. What matters is that they end on it, or they start on it. So 1, 2, 3 lines start on it, so that's an M. And then we have a little vowel hanging on it like a bead on a string. And that is an O. So like this. So that's the M-O. And then we have an N. 1 line on the N. And then the S. 1, thick line, 2, and then 3. So 3 lines end on it. So again, this shallow divot shape means it's in this row, and those 3 lines ending on it means it's an S. So demons is our first word here. And then our next word, bottom of it, is here. And there's this big old shallow divot, so this shape here, with 1, 2, 3 dots by it. So that's an R. And then we have a little circle. Even though this one isn't color different, it's still smaller than this N, so it's a vowel. And it has a line going outwards. That's a U. So R-U. And then the N hanging inside the word circle here has 1 line on it. So M's and N's are all really similar, except N's only have 1 line right there, and M's have 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. So demons run. So that's the first word, well, the first sentence. Now let's get to this next one, and I'm going to kind of start going through them a little bit faster. Here's our next word with our first letter of that word right here. It's a shallow divot with 2 lines, making it a W, 1, 2. Then we have a deep divot with 2 lines, making it an H. So WH, and then right inside that H, we have an E. So E's again are centralized. They're inside that consonant stem or on the line. A's are always outside. O's are always inside. And then U's, I's, and E's are all in the same position. But anyway, so here's the E centralized inside that consonant stem. And then we have another N. And lines that pass through the words don't count, only ones that start on it, like I said before. So this N has just the 1 line ending on it because these guys pass right through it. So W-H-E-N, win. And then we have this word circle, which only has a little tiny A on it. So that's the next word. It's the word So win, A, or good. G has 1 line on a deep divot. O, little open circle on the line like a bead on a string. And then another O hanging out inside the word circle. And then the D has 1, 2, 3 dots, just like this D. So good, and then M, 1, 2, 3 lines on that M, just like this M, 1, 2, 3 lines. A outside the word circle, and then an N. So even though this N is kind of small, about the same size as that A, it is inside the word circle and has a line on it. And O's never have lines on them. So if it's inside the word circle and has a line or dots or anything, it can't be a vowel because only O's are inside the word circle like that. So anyway, M-A-N, so man. And then we have this next word here, bottom of the word circle. Another G, because it's got 1 line on it, just like this G. O, E, S, 1, 2, 1, 3. So goes. And then T-O, because if we start at the bottom here, we don't hit our first actual stem until here. So this is the T, and then the O. So 2. And then our last word here, bottom of the word circles here. 1, 2 lines on this W. This one passes through, so it doesn't count. A outside the word circle, and then R, 1, 2, 3 dots. So when a good man goes to war. Here's our next sentence. I'm going to turn my phone off because that's annoying. So here's our next sentence, bottom of the word circle here. N-I-G-H-T. So this T is tricky because these lines all pass through it, but none of them actually end on this T-shaped stem here. This inwards kind of bite out of a cookie out of this word circle. Even though this one ends on the line, it doesn't matter because it's not on the stem. So kind of tricky there. But if this were to have like gone through and ended on this stem, it would count and be like a V, but nothing ends on it, so it's a T. So N-I-G-H-T, bottom of the word circles here. This is our first letter. 1, 2 lines on the W, just like this W, I, and then we have a double line, and a double line means it's a double letter. So these 2 lines are really close together. That's a double line. So a double letter, and that double letter is a circle inside the word circle with 3 dots. So that's a double L. So W-I-L-L, and then F, 1, 2, 3 lines on the F. A, and then another double L, 1, 2, 3 lines in a double line. So will, fall, and A, N. Here's a bunch of dots. Let's go ahead and parse these out. This deep divot has 1, 2, 3 dots all closest to it. And these dots go with this letter, and these dots go with this letter. So A-N-D is here. D, 1, 2, 3 dots on a deep divot. R, 1, 2, 3 dots on that R, and then an O on that line like a bead on a string. So that's an O, and then a W, 1, 2 lines on the W, and then the N, drown. Then we have the word circle here, T-H-E, So THs are just on the line of the word circle. So THE, so the, and then our last word in the sentence, bottom of it here, 1, 2, 3 lines on that S. U, line going outwards. N, 1 line on the N. So here's that shape, circle inside the word circle with 1 line on it, makes it an N. So night will fall and drown the sun. Then we have another when a good man goes to war, again, set up exactly like this, so I'm not going to point through it. Here's our next word here. And it starts with an outer word circle and then goes to an inner word circle. So for really big words like friendship, you can stack sentences, words inside each other. So this word circle out here is kind of the first part of the word, and this one in here is the second part of the word. So let's start with our first letter here. 1, 2, 3 lines on this deep divot is an F. Continuing around, here we have 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot. So that's an R. Continuing around. So this little vowel is pretty close to this word, but it's actually close to this word, so it goes here. But these are on the line of the word circle, and this is another double letter, except these lines are different thicknesses. So instead of being a double thin line, it's a thin and a thick line. So they're two different letters, and they're both small, so they're both vowels. So we read the thin one first, which is an I, because it's got a line going towards the middle, and then the E has no line, so I-E, and then we have an N, 1 line on it, then 1, 2, 3 dots on this D, so friend, and then 2 dots on this SH, I, line going towards the middle, and then a P has 1, 2 lines. So friendship, and then this deep divot here on this word has 3 dots, so it's a D, another IE, just like this IE. Continue around, here we have an S with 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot, and then another A, M, D, so an and set up just like, where was the other and? I forgot what the other and was. Here it is, A, N, D. A, N, 1 line, D, 1, 2, 3 dots. So friendship dies and then we go to this next sentence circle. And it is kind of tricky to tell the order of the sentence circles in here. You might start with this outer one if you were reading outer to inner on these sentences like you would with words. But if you're going where the main body of this kind of sentence lies, these two are super connected, but this one, its main chunk, doesn't start coming in between until these two. But there are parts of the poem that kind of make sense if you interchange them, because it's friendship dies and true love lies, night will fall and the dark will rise, or if you read it as night will fall and the dark will rise, friendship dies and true love lies, it all still worked, it all still rhymes, so I figured that those were a good 2 sentences to stack. But anyway, here's our next bit. Here is a T, no modifiers on a shallow divot. R, 1, 2, 3 dots on a shallow divot. U, 1 line going outwards on a small circle. E, on the line of the word circle, so true. And this word here, bottom of the word circle's here. Circle inside the word circle with 3 dots is an L. Here are those 3 dots, 1, 2, 3 dots, L. O inside the word circle. V has 1 line on a shallow divot. And then an E at the end of that word, so L-O-V-E. L, 1, 2, 3 dots inside the word circle. I, line going towards the middle, E on the line of the word circle, and then this S is kind of tricky because these lines look like a circle, but they do end on that S stem, so 1, 2, 3 lines that all start on this shallow divot make it an S. So true love lies. And then this bit is actually really easy to read because all I did is I took the word circles and I broke them apart and I made them one big kind of word circle. With little spaces between the actual words. So here's our first word at the bottom of it. Bottom of it's here. This is an N because it's got 1 line on a circle inside the word circle. I, it's got 1 line going towards the middle. Then we have a circle on the line of the word circle with 1 dot, so that's a GH. Then we have a shallow divot with no modifiers, so that's a T. So night, and then we have this word. 1 line ending on it there, a second one, little guy ending on it there. So that's W. I, line going towards the middle. And then we have another double L, 1, 2, 3 dots, just like this double L. And then an F, 1, 2, 3 lines on that F, A, and another double L. So fall, and then here's the first letter of our last word of this little chunk, A, N, D, and, continuing around, T, H, E, the, D, A, R, K. 3 dots on the D, 3 dots on the R, 2 dots on the K. So D has 3 dots. A is outside the word circle. No, yeah, A. R, 3 dots on the R, and then K has 2 dots. So dark, W, I, double L, so will. R, just like this R. I, it's got a line going towards the middle, just like this I. 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, and then an E. So the dark will rise. WHEN, A, GOOD, MAN, GOES, TOWAR. So it's another when a good man goes to war, just like these guys. Continuing, we're almost done. We got this. Here's our first word of this sentence. And the first letter is here. It's got 1, 2, 3 dots, so that's a D. E, 1, 2, 3 lines on the M. O, like a beat in a string. N, 1 line ending on it. Again, lines that pass through do not count, so just this thicker line counts. So MON, and then 1, 2, 3 lines. So this guy, this guy, and this guy. So 3 lines shallow divot is an S. R, 3 dots on a shallow divot. R, U line going outwards. N, this little guy ends on that N. So run. And then continuing around, here's our next word. Bottom of it's here. B, U line going outwards. T, but. Then we have 1, 2 dots on a circle inside the word circle. So that is a K. And this word is count. And I know the word count does not start with a K, it starts with a C. But in this script, you substitute the letter C with the letter K or CH or SH or S, depending on what sound the letter C makes. Unless you're working with an acronym or a proper noun. Same thing for a Q, you use a Q always if you're making a Q. But anyway, so we turn the letter C into a K. Because in the word count, the letter C goes K. And also C is kind of a stupid letter. I do not like it. So, except for names, when it's important to have a distinction between like a Carla with a K or a Carla with a C, you want to spell them the way you actually spell your name. So you use the actual letter for names and for acronyms and proper nouns because that also matters. But KOUNT, count. Then we have this word circle here, this gray one. TH on the line of the word circle. E, so the, THE. The, K, 2 dots on a circle inside the word circle. O, 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, and then T, so cost. Because this line passes through the T and T's have no modifiers. So demons run, but count the cost. Our very last one, we're almost there. Here we have another the, bottom of the word circles here, THE. B has no modifiers, and is a deep divot. A, T is a shallow divot, no modifiers. Another T. 1, 2, 3 dots on this L. E on the line of the word circle. And then S has 1, 2, 3 lines on that S, so battles. And then a W, 1, 2 lines on that shallow divot is a W. O hanging out inside the word circle, and then the N with 1 line on it. The battle's 1, and then B-U-T, but. THE on the line of that word circle there. So the, just like this, THE, but the bottom of the word circle here. CH on a deep divot, so 2 dots on a deep divot is a C. CH. I, line going towards the middle. And then we have a bunch of dots here. Let's figure out where they go. So these 3 are all on the line or inside this, this letter stem. So those 3 count here. These 3, 1, 2, 3, they all touch or inside this stem, so they go here. And these 2 again are obviously on that one. So this has 3 dots and is a circle inside the word circle, so that's an L. And then we have a 1, 2, 3 dot D, so child. And then we have this word, bottom of the word circle. I, line going towards the middle. Then we have 1, 2, 3 lines on that shallow divot S. So is, and then L, 1, 2, 3 dots on the L. O hanging out inside the word circle. And then an S, 1, 2, 3 lines on that S. And then finally the T, shallow divot, no modifier. So, yeah. One more time, just a quick little read through. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So, demons run when a good man goes to war. Night will fall and drown the sun when a good man goes to war. Friendship dies and true love lies. Night will fall and the dark will rise when a good man goes to war. Demons run, but count the cost. The battle's won, but the child is lost. So yeah, that's this design. I hope you like it. I'm really proud of it. Bye.